Since 1977, Star Wars has always taken inspiration from all over our wonderful, interconnected world. You can spot this most clearly in the filming locations they've chosen for various movies over the years. From Norway for Hoth to Bolivia for Crate, the Star Wars team has scoured the world for inspiration. They have pulled out not only location, but culture, nomenclature, customs, and traditions to help inspire the worlds and the lore they have created. The lore of Star Wars and its inspirations extended far beyond just the filming locations. I'm sure the Maldives appreciates being Scarif and that Ireland has more excuses to send tourists to its islands, but how the different characters of Star Wars acts are inspired from all over the globe. However, I'm sure it's not an easy sell for travel agencies to guide you to places whose culture and or language has merely inspired Star Wars, as it is for them to send you to Tunisia to look at Luke's farm boy home. That being said, there is a country in the same continent that has had a tiny impact on the franchise. It is my country, where I'm from, and has been an influence since the very first movie. Yes, I'm talking about South Africa. From inspirations for alien cultures, accents and garments, to languages, to actors from South African schools, South Africa has certainly managed to make a cultural dent in the Star Wars universe. Let's take a look at a few examples that I could find that represent the aspects of our Rainbow Nation. Everyone's favorite sand-crawling bargainers can be heard mixing in a few phrases of Zulu, one of 11 official languages of South Africa. StarWars.com have confirmed that the lovable hooded creatures are speaking with some Zulu and even reference how Trevor Noah can understand it, as seen in this interview.
So you speak 6 languages.
Yeah.
Including Zulu, which is actually in a little bit of Star Wars. The Jawas speak.
Yeah.
So you understood what they said?
Yeah, so they're having like conversations. There's one scene, I think they have R2 and they have C3PO. There's like a little scene and they're prodding people along and they're talking and they're having a full conversation on like what it means to be a man or something.
Really?
Yeah, so when people are watching it, they're just like, hey, Indo the mais born, Indo the mais born, good. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a deep conversation. Go back.
Some native Zulu speakers are stunned when they hear the Jawas for the first time, as shown in this Reddit post, where the user explains they can hear the phrases "it's heavy" and "look at this place, it's wrong to come here," spoken in the scenes in A New Hope. First seen in the Clone Wars episode, Trespass. The blue-skinned humanoid creatures have a number of characteristics reminiscent of South Africa's colonial past and legacy. The episode mimics snippets of old British and Dutch reasoning for colonization of planets and tribes represented through the Praetorians. Them being more adaptable to the colder weather is a nice reference to the reverse IRL, and their actors try their best to mimic the old colonial British South African accent.
To believe.
The people are restless. The Trade Federation blockade is causing far more damage and disorder than we predicted.
We need more time. The Senate will vote in our favor, I'm sure of it.
It's the effort that counts. I will say, in context, it feels though it represents more the old Rhodesians, now Zimbabwe, in the coarseness of their leader as well as the wars. But in the end, South Africa and Zimbabwe's history are so similar, the inspiration was probably all wrapped in one. However, the gold markings the Praetorians put on their face could be a nod to the diverse background of the colonizers. They display their markings to show loyalty to a family, and this could parallel the many ways South Africans like to represent the many cultures and countries they come from. The Geonosians have a language that doesn't consist of any words produced by any human language. However, they do make clicking noises in their speech. The inspiration comes from South Africa, where multiple languages from different groups have this as a feature. The Khoi and San groups of people are the indigenous population of South Africa, and their languages are from where the clicks originate. Additionally, the most famous language to have the clicks is Xhosa, from another prominent South African tribe. The connection between the groups meant that the feature spread between them and has been a part of the languages ever since. Another hint towards this influence is the outfit and the stick the Geonosian chief wears, which might be a reference to the Nguni walking stick and the draped over style of their garb. The loyal Imperial Admiral that solidified himself in infamy by executing General Hux in The Rise of Skywalker is played by Richard E. Grant. Grant was born in Swaziland, now Eswatini, and attended the University of Cape Town. Eswatini not only shares a border with South Africa, but much of its culture as well, especially around the Afrikaner and British culture Grant is descended from. Although he has previously distanced his birthplace from its neighbouring countries, saying it was lovely being in isolation in the mountains with apartheid South Africa on one side and Marxist Mozambique on the other, the culture he has described living through during his childhood is almost indistinguishable from South Africa at the time. Star Wars has taken much inspiration from all over the world to create their own lore-rich worlds. Perhaps some of their strongest influences are from wartime struggles from all over the globe. You can definitely see this with the fact that South Africa's strongest influence with the most depth is in the Pantorans in the Clone Wars. The accents and actions from all over that arc are clearly intended to draw up the real world parallels. I will say it is based on the old actions and beliefs, and the accents are not the best because I did not notice it the first time around I watched the Clone Wars. Regardless, it's nice to see that there are influences from South Africa from the very beginning and over all eras. And hopefully there will be more moving forward.